Okay, it's exciting. I'm just so excited, about our guys and how we work. I mean, someone's going to have to count, but 16 or 15 weeks straight of football. And I'm telling you, we had another great week of practice. It was the first time that we challenged the guys that we got to have a fast start. Northern Iowa was going to be a tough out and that they would show up and play hard. I thought their guys up front on the O-line and their running backs ran hard. That's a big kid. And obviously, we got to do a little bit better job against the run. But big plays and takeaways and taking care of the ball. Joe Stoffel breaks an NDSU record, for most receptions by a tight end. I think the efficiency on offense in the pass protection gave Cam a chance to go 308 consecutive passes without an INT. And that's a lot. That's a credit to a lot of guys. That's a credit to a lot of coaches, a lot of people. I mean, that's big time, passing up Trey Lance there. First half, no penalties. And again, I just come back to it. I got to look at the tape, but, offensive line's difficult here, and it's difficult anywhere that's valued. It's never good enough. Those guys, you can always pick them apart, but that protection seemed to be really on point, especially with those early third downs. And Barika had a huge pickup. Really excited about the way Enock's playing right now. I thought we had a couple poor angles on breaks on the ball out of the secondary, on a couple of their completions. But overall, guys, I'm excited to get on the road recruiting Thursday and Friday. I'm excited to get off my feet a little bit tomorrow. Give these guys a little bit of a Monday and Sunday off where they can rest and rehab. We'll practice Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday some. And then we'll get them on the road early on Friday morning. So with that, let's open up for questions. Hopefully I didn't miss anything.
Touched on the break or the bye coming up, Tim. How big is that after it's just been a grind for a long time?
Yeah, it's interesting because we have a good mix right now of young guys that are they're going and they're practicing at a high level. But I'm thinking about a few guys. We'll get Emping back. He should be, full speed. You'll get Mason Miller, just a little bit healthier. He's really been grinding. I really appreciate him. Joe Stoffel's played a lot of football and I think trying to get refreshed. And then what we have to do is we have to revisit our takeaway circuits and our tackling circuits and get back to the basics again, fundamentally. And that's probably the thing I'm most concerned with. And then what we'll do this week, especially early up until Wednesday, it'll all be normal down, first and second down from Missouri State. And then Thursday and Friday, we'll move into some third and medium stuff. But I'm not tired, but I can tell you I sure for a moment just felt like, gosh, these guys have been at it a long time and we could use a Sunday off. And so for coaches and stuff like that, we'll be in Monday and we'll wrap this game up.
Was there a moment during practice or someone just said, hey, we need a timeout? Or was it during a game? What did you stick out to you to say that?
No, I just, going back to the Monday that we gave them off. I mean, guys, it's been a physical, that game was physical today. Those guys showed up and played. It was physical. I can't remember a time where you were at football it's not, and I'm okay with it. Like the bye falls were the bye falls, but it's been 16 weeks since, July 28th or whatever. No, it's just most of the time you'd have a bye in week 6 or week 3. And I think it's at a perfect time right now because of the rest of the road.
Time that Cam had to throw today.
Just the play action stuff was really, really impressive because, you're moving the launch point to about 9 yards. And he was able to step in there and slide, and he got to number 1 or 2 or 3 in the progression. It just felt like his feet were never disrupted. I don't know that they moved him off his spot, number 1. Then I don't know if he got touched today outside of the quarterback draw. Just really good. I'm excited to see the tape, but those third down conversions just seemed to be really good protection, really good rhythm and timing, some good playmaking. And then, like I said, the running backs stepped in there and picked up a couple blitzes. Barika's block was huge, guys. They ran a little bit of an X blitz on the edge, and he stepped up there and stuffed it. It was awesome.
Describe what, just the kickoff return to start a game. What does that do?
Well, you go through some emotions because you're like, okay, he's not being aggressive. He's not circled the ball. And then all of a sudden there's a little hesitancy and a delay. And I saw him, have a little bit of a crease to get it started. The guys did a great job. And then like most big kick returns, there's some sort of kick or a cutback in there. And so they responded with the ask. We asked them to start extremely fast, be extremely efficient. I can tell you this, on offense, I said, I don't care, will us to stay on the field on third down, will us on the field to stay out there to cultivate and create opportunities for the play like Bryce made on the jump ball. Defensively, let's corral the run, let's get a takeaway early. All those things, the players did that. We put a focus point for them out there, and then they went and established it. It's all about our leadership and the guys that are playing.
You mentioned takeaway. That was a big play early that they were going in.
Yeah.
It looked to be going in, and then you got the fumble.
Yeah, I thought they had some really nice wrinkles on offense and kind of had us off balance. They ran some same side counter, just meaning the back was over here, not coming across the quarterback. That was a little different. Some really good screen stuff. And then the option play coming out in the third quarter, like you better be on top of your stuff. And Grant had some good answers moving forward. But just to bend and then to make a big strip, that was huge by Toby. Violent on the football, and then Crumby, I think, is the one that recovered it. Am I accurate on that? You know, just I think that's a big part of defense right now is stealing a possession. And then the 4 down, you know, keeping them out of the end zone on the 3rd and 1 from the 1 is huge.
Marty Brown over 100 again today. Just, you know, like I said, a physical game of, you know, second-year freshman being able to have these type of games.
Yeah, I know Coach Landry's excited to coach him. I'm excited to coach him. He's really close to coming out more often than he's even doing. Like he's got to continue to bring his knees with him and finish runs. But he is so physical on the first tackler. He is so fast and, you know, low center of gravity, good balance. That he's playing at a high level, and he's getting used to the outside run play. He's doing a better job with that, and I think there's still room for improvement. But I can tell you this, we're excited to keep coaching him and keep providing opportunities. But I thought Barika and TK were also, you know, very, very positive in their roles today.
Describe what Enock's brought to your defense. It's 2 weeks in a row where he's been an impact guy out there.
And he's playing a lot too, right? Like I was a little bit worried about, you know, him potentially wearing down a little bit, playing 60 or 50 reps even. He's had some really nice ball out breaks, you know, and those are when the ball comes out, you know, are we triggering? Do we see it? You know, the point to playing zone coverage as much as we play is so that we can get tips and takeaways, but it's also so that we can hit people very hard when they do catch it. And it seems like he's really doing that at a high level. And on top of that, I don't know if it showed up today, but he's really become a pretty good edge blitzer as well. And really pleased with Enock. He's taking advantage of opportunities, and that's what this thing is all about. I really believe that coaching and providing opportunity, and to see young people take advantage of their chances is special. It's why you coach.
There's been a lot of twists and turns and storylines, but going to the bye, you couldn't be in a better spot. 9-1 and number 1 seed earlier this week and all that stuff everything's in front of you.
Yeah, it's awesome. We also talked about this at pregame meal. Like, we're an improving team, I think. I think we're a team that's on the rise. And that's really good and healthy for us. But we have to continue to embrace that, keep coming back to work. You know, leverage this bye week going into what's going to be a really good football game against Murray State or Mo State. I believe that. But I think you hit on something. We're in a pretty good spot. You know, we talked about being 0-0 today, but now we can reflect on the past. We're 9-1, and I think that, you know, it's time to start talking about being in control of our destiny as far as establishing home field advantage. And we're going to defend the dome, but we got to earn the dome the rest of the way. And that's the only goal that we talked about in fall camp, along with leading the country in physicality and eliminating distractions. And so now we can talk about our goals because we're in November. November's huge because you'll either remember November or you'll want to forget about it as fast as possible. And we're positioning ourselves to make a run. I really believe that.
Describe the time you had to throw today.
I think in the last 4 or 5 years, that's probably the best protection that we've had. You know, I could have sat back there for 5 to 10 seconds and made a throw, so that makes my job a lot easier. You know, it makes Bryce's job a lot easier, and guys got open and we made plays.
Describe the opening kickoff. It seemed like you almost hesitated for a second. Were you thinking of not taking it out? Just, you know, describe that whole play in general.
I mean, honestly, I just want to commend all the guys up front. They were blocking their butts off. You know, it just made it that much easier. All I really had to do was run. It wasn't a hesitation. It was just kind of just making sure that we were getting the call right and that everyone was on the same page and going and not calling a fair catch. So it was just a little communication, but it was all fine.
When you saw the flag, did you think it was coming back?
I didn't see the flag. I kind of like felt the flag. Like the atmosphere kind of was like, ah. And I was turning around. I'm like, there's got to be a flag somewhere, hasn't it? But, you know, the energy rose back up when they realized, you know, it was a missed call, and it was fun. It was a good game.
What was the emotion of Coach Polasek saying? Kind of challenge the whole team to start fast and to, you know, do that on the first play. What was kind of the emotion with him?
I think it was electric for everybody just because all 11 went out there and we all did our job and we all, you know, we had our mindset on starting the game fast. I just think that was a team effort right there.
As a bald guy, I have to ask you, why'd you cut off the hair? I'm a little upset about that.
You know, I had to get a little bit faster for that opening kickoff, so I had to drop a couple pounds.
I'm not fast, and I got nothing.
Bryce, is one hand equal 1 foot? Can you describe that catch that you had?
Yeah, I guess so. But when you got the best quarterback in the country believing you like that, you got to go make a play. So.
Like that was the only place that he could throw it.
Yeah.
What goes through your mind when you hey, it's coming my way?
Got to go make a play. He believes in me and got to go do it.
Was that? I mean, there's no other window. What's going through your mind when you're throwing it and he's got a guy blanketing him?
When the corner opened up to the field and wasn't really like in a man stance, I was kind of nervous to make the throw a little bit. But when you have a guy like Bryce, you just throw it up and he's going to make the catch most of the time.
Your relationship or connection more so with Bryce throughout the year. I mean, that touchdown, of course, but then that 40-yarder down on the 5 where you mossed the defender. Can you just describe like your connection, just how it's grown throughout the year?
I just think it's grown since January when we started throwing. We've spent a lot of time together, and Bryce is a guy that paid his dues. He didn't play for the first 3 years when he probably could have or should have, and he wasn't one to make excuses or point fingers, and I couldn't be happier for the guy.
Enock, describe the last couple weeks when you've come into the game and just made plays. What has that been, and how that's energized your team when you've been out there?
I don't think it's nothing new because I go against these guys every day at practice, and they kind of know what kind of energy I bring when I'm on the field. But overall, the defense is playing really good right now. It's not just credit to me. Our D-line's playing really good. They're hitting their fists, and it's allowing linebackers to play really fast and allowing the secondary to make plays when plays are needed.
Talk a little bit about the turnovers you guys forced at both goal lines. The first one looked like they might be going in. You guys stopped it, and then late in the game, you had the nice stand at the goal line the other way.
They did a really good job driving down, especially in the second half. They're a great team, great competitors, and it was fun. And in those moments, we practiced those moments at practice, and we were like, we need to stop this, and that's the mindset we had. And we were like, we bit down on our chin on our mouthpiece a little harder, and we just put our shoulders down, and we went and made sure that they were going to score.
TK, how badly does this team need a bye week? Just need to not play football for a week?
I think it's going to be good for everybody to, just get some fresh legs. But, every week we're ready to go 1-0. Put anyone, anywhere, anytime. We're ready to go.
How about for you? How long have you been looking for this since you got hurt?
Yeah, it's probably been 3 or 4 weeks since you kind of circle that on your calendar too. I think everybody just needs a little bit of rest, for their bodies and minds.
Did Coach Polasek bring up where the rankings are, where you guys are at with the team? Has it been discussed that you're number one, or is that something that you brought up now with what you have left?
It hasn't been brought up too much. I think he's mentioned it a few times, but obviously all of our goals are ahead of us, so what does being ranked number one even mean? Any team can beat anyone, and we're just focused on our goals. We're not worried about being number one. We want to be number one at the end of the year.
Does this compare to last year's stretch where you had the bye week early, but then you didn't get the playoff bye, and then you played all those rounds of the playoffs? Does it feel like a similar stretch, or does this feel different than that?
This feels a lot more tiring than that stretch. I think Coach Polasek said in the locker room, we've been playing football for the last 16 weeks. We started July 28th, and we get Sundays off, and during fall camp we don't get any days off. So just a lot of football. I'm looking forward to just kicking the feet up a little bit and relaxing.